What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of the 10-7 MMA. I'm DS, and he is Dino Bam Bam.
What up, Dino?
We're back.
Finally.
We're back.
It's been a long time, right?
It's been a hot-ass minute.
Hot-ass minute.
It's been a hot minute, but we are back, and better than ever, arguably.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either,
I feel significantly worse than last time. So, but that's just me.
We'll get there, though. All right? Nonetheless, if we're not already there, who knows? Today, we wanted to cover this amazing.
Beautiful.
Actually, you know, it's not that bad. It's not a bad card. Overall, top to bottom, it's really not a bad card. It's the Grant Dawson versus Bobby Green Fight Night card coming up this Saturday. We've got 11 fights on the docket. In the meantime, you're getting rusty on me, bro. Tell them what they need to do.
Well, you're supposed to tell me you're supposed to tell me to tell them to do something.
Tell them.
Guys, I'm going to tell you right now, okay? You ready?
Go.
Hit the like and subscribe button. Ring the little bell. It does that sound, okay? I think.
If it doesn't, do it again.
And then let us know that it didn't make that sound. We got to contact YouTube. We got issues. But do that. Like and subscribe. You can also follow us on Instagram at the107MMA. Same way as it's spelled on this very channel. We just put up a couple pictures this week with some of the cool guy fighters that are on this card.
They're mostly of him.
Mostly of me, but
fine.
Some cool people.
Cool people in general.
Cool people. Another thing I want to talk about really quickly before we move on to this card. I got to talk about my verdict ranking this week.
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
So,
well deserved.
Shout out Verdict, by the way. If you guys don't know what Verdict is, you should figure it out. Download Verdict on your smartphones that were going crazy today at some point in the afternoon.
I got to do that too, man.
And now we're all zombies and shit.
I'm about to do that. Fuck it.
Yeah, so download Verdict. It's a game. You get to play. It's fun.
You win anything?
You can play for money if you'd like.
Do you play for money?
I haven't yet.
Boring.
But I will. Anyways, Verdict, very fun. So I've been playing on these, on every card, but I've been playing a lot on the Dana White's Contender Series, a.k.a. Dancing with the Stars, as you like to call it.
Yes.
How do
you know who to pick on that?
I don't know. So I just do some
guy.
tapology. Some of them I've seen them fight before.
You check out Fight Your Pass
if they're on there. So I'll do that. But I've been killing it on these Dana White Contender Series fights.
Yep.
I've been finishing with a belt, which is the top 10% like every week.
You got
like 4 of the last 5. This week I finished 18th in the world.
Out of?
I don't know, a lot.
Tens of thousands, probably.
Probably. So 18th in the world. The guy in the main event I picked by sub in the second round. He ended up getting a TKO in the second round. He had the sub like 2 times, and he just like let it go. He's like, fuck it, I'm just going to pound this guy out. If he would have gotten that sub, I would have finished number 1 in the world.
That's the kind of quality content you get here. You know?
Yeah. 953s, number 1 best guy in the world at picking random people fight.
We got pictures with people.
We got some pictures with people.
Geary follows us.
What else?
Come on.
What else?
Just so many things.
TJ Dillashaw even shaved his head and got a hurt shoulder like I do.
To look just like us. My right shoulder is hurt too. I have a slightly torn rotator cuff.
Mine's always been hurt. So we got TJ trying to jock our swag. Like you said, Yuri's following us. I'm punching 953s. We got a picture with John Jones. We met John Jones in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
It's been a year.
Yeah. Really? Huh? Oh, I thought you said it's been a year since we met him. I was like, that was like 3 months ago.
No, I'm saying it's been a hell of a year.
It's been a hell of a year, that's for sure. A lot of other stories that if you follow us on Instagram, we could talk about those. We're not going to talk about them here, but some wild shit.
Let's get right back to it.
Fine.
First fight of this fight night is Montana De La Rosa taking on JJ Aldridge at 125. They are women. They are fighting.
They are.
What do you think?
So last week you pointed out, or last week, 2 weeks ago, whatever it was, you pointed out that I get all the fun fights. And damn it, if you're not right, you know.
We're starting you off hot.
Right. Montana De La Rosa, she's a wrestler. She's a grappler. That's what she does. She doesn't have too much on the feet. She's a bit of a specialist. She just wants to wrestle, and that's all there really is to say about it. She's solid in the wrestling.
Yep.
And really, that's it about Montana De La Rosa. Also, she's 28, so that's another thing to know about her.
Yeah.
JJ Aldridge.
Her dad was pretty good.
Was he?
Mark De La Rosa?
Is that her dad?
Yeah.
Okay. The baseball player?
Huh?
The baseball player?
Maybe I'm getting his name wrong.
I'm tripping right now.
No, it is. It's Mark De La Rosa, dude. Don't throw me off like that.
I'm tripping. Anyways, she's fighting. You're tripping.
let's get back to that. I could be wrong.
Mark De La Rosa, he's like younger than her.
He is.
Anyways, JJ.
Maybe it's her brother?
Maybe. JJ Aldrich,
or is her husband? Anyway, sorry, please. I apologize. Go ahead.
All right. JJ Aldrich, okay? She is one of the long-lost Gaethje sisters, as we know.
Yes.
Right? So, JJ Gaethje, short notice replacement. She's taken on a couple weeks here. She's solidly well-rounded, okay striking, okay grappling. She doesn't really stick out anywhere either. This is going to be very fun. Actually, no, it's going to be very boring. That's how I think this fight's going to play out. I'm going Montana De La Rosa by decision here due to the fact that she has a huge edge in the grappling. And I think, and this fight's a coin flip in Vegas. So on a coin flip, I have to go with the lady that has the specialty, and Montana De La Rosa is a really good grappler. JJ Aldrich is just okay in that aspect and everywhere.
Yep. Yeah, I agree with you. I'm also going Montana De La Rosa. What happened?
No.
Yeah, she has a win over my girl, Ariane Lipski. That has aged decently. Lost to Macy Barber, but, at least made it out of a decision. I think JJ Aldrich got... she got finished by Macy Barber. So, yeah, math should be mathing here. I'm really not a JJ Aldrich fan. I know that she just got a win versus Liang Na. She sucks even harder. The best thing about this fight is that hopefully the loser goes home
and it's early, so.
and we get it out of the way early. I just think Montana De La Rosa is better. She passes the eye test more for me. JJ Aldrich just looks hella goofy at all times. It's a coin toss. I'm not super confident.
She looks like Amish.
She does look hella Amish. Yeah. She churned the fuck out of some butter. But, yeah, I'm going Montana De La Rosa by decision. I don't see a finish in this
Who
fight.
would you rather get finished by, Macy Barber or Macy Chasson?
Come on.
I'm just saying.
Come on. Macy Chasson looks like fucking... Bro, she's like my height and shit. Like, I don't know. I don't fuck with that.
Let's get it.
Anyway, moving on to the next fight of the night. It's Johnny Munoz Jr. versus Aoriqileng.
Aoriqileng. That's a good name.
It is. I don't know where the C or the H comes from, but we'll go with it. I'm going to go with Aoriqileng. I think he's going to get the knockout here. Munoz, I know that he just survived versus a big striker in Daniel Santos, somebody who's very dangerous early on. I just think that the biggest difference for me here is that Aoriqileng is not going to throw a bunch of spinning, crazy things like Daniel Santos did, right? So he's got more power. Johnny Munoz Jr. just doesn't really stand out anywhere for me. Excuse me. Got a little bit of indigestion going on. But yeah, Aoriqileng got big power for 135. I see him landing a shot and putting Munoz out. If he doesn't get that first round finish, it's very likely that he loses by decision. Munoz, while not amazing anywhere, is pretty solid everywhere. I do expect him to have the advantage on the ground. So if it goes there, and he probably has the better cardio too. I mean, we've seen him, go many times to the distance and look decent. Yeah, I just think Aoriqileng is going to find the shot. I'm going to go with him by knockout.
I agree with you in terms of, I think the more this fight goes on, the more it favors Munoz. I think this fight's going to get very sloppy at times.
Very possible.
Yeah, I am actually going with Munoz here. I think he's going to be able to find a sub in those sloppy situations.
I don't fault you.
He is close. A bit of like a jiu-jitsu nerd. And also, for what it's worth, pointing out, we agreed on the first fight. We disagree here.
Interesting.
You think that's interesting?
It is interesting. Is that it?
Yeah.
All right.
I think Johnny Munoz is going to find the sub.
Yeah. And I was very, like I said, if he doesn't get knocked out in the first round, I see that happening too.
Yep.
So, moving on to the third fight of the night, it's Kanako Murata making her UFC return. She's a little jacked ball, dude. She's taking on Little Monster Vanessa Demopoulos. What do you think about this one? And man, you are getting the good fights today.
Yeah, there it is. These are bangers. Murata, 2 years away from the octagon. She is a grappler. She's got really good wrestling, solid jiu-jitsu. She's very active on the feet. She likes to feint a lot, and she feints her takedowns a ton too, which is she's constantly changing levels as she's making her way in. She doesn't allow her, when she's on a roll, I should say, she doesn't allow her opponents to get into a groove at all.
Yeah.
Vanessa Demopoulos, she is very active. She's really nonstop with the volume, right? She moves in and out.
She's always with throwing nonsense though.
Yeah, she throws little pop shots. Yeah. There's no power behind anything really that Vanessa Demopoulos throws.
Vanessa Demopoulos also 59.5-inch reach.
Yeah, interesting. And the older fighter here by a good bit.
By 5 years.
5 years older. Last time out, she looked really bad versus Karolina Kowalkiewicz. She looked outclassed. Karolina's a great fighter. or a very good fighter, I should say. Vanessa Demopoulos is just kind of like there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's just kind of middle of the pack. But anyways, I got to assume Murata is okay post-injury here. 2 years off. If there is no ring rust, she should be able to beat Vanessa Demopoulos. She is a better fighter than her in almost every aspect of the game, especially the wrestling.
100%.
I don't see Murata finishing Demopoulos. Vanessa Demopoulos is tough as hell. But I do see a dominant decision here. It is women's MMA, though. Anything can happen. And I just want to add, though, that in that time that Murata has been away from the game, Vanessa Demopoulos has been very invested in MMA and very invested in the UFC as well. She's been like hosting shows on Fight Your Pass and doing all these kinds of things with the UFC. So,
she's good to it. She's got a career after the UFC, probably still within the UFC, but outside of fighting. And then also Murata is just tough as hell, man. Yeah. Last time we saw her out was a couple years ago versus Verna Jandiroba, and she had a very...
It's my girl.
Yeah, I know.
Shout out Verna.
She had a very clearly broken or dislocated arm.
Yeah.
I don't know how the ref didn't catch that. I caught that like right after it happened, and I was watching the announcer. Literally, the announcer, like who I forgot, it was like John Anik and somebody else. Literally took them like half a round to be like, oh hey, what's wrong with her arm? It's like she's literally like it's hanging down.
Doesn't that trip you out? How sometimes like you can notice that, and these guys that are 2 feet away from them
and
can't.
Like the ref is there, like so. I'm like, okay, her arm is very clearly broken. She's also not using it. So anyway, just goes to show you how tough she is. Vanessa Demopoulos is tough too, but that Verna fight, I mean, she did a little bit of damage in there too. That has obviously aged really well at this point. Verna's been on a tear. I think it's going to be a pretty competitive decision, but I see a pretty clear decision win for Murata. I'm going to go 30-27. I just think Vanessa Demopoulos doesn't really throw anything out there that's, worth much.
I want to say the biggest, and you mentioned it right there, I think Vanessa Demopoulos, the best thing she has is her toughness.
Yeah.
And I don't mean this to be funny or anything, but she's a former exotic dancer. Let's put it that way.
Sure.
So to come into fighting late in life, having come from that background, and it's just like, you're just a badass, like tough ass chick.
Yeah,
that's not what you would assume.
A beating one way or another.
she's a badass though. Dude. The girl's tough as hell. I'll leave it at that.
She sure is. Moving on to the next fight of the night, it is Nate Maness taking on Mateus Mendonça, who I believe is he making his? He's not making his.
No, he lost his first fight.
He lost to Javid Basharat. That's right. 1 second, let me find my notes on this one. Here we go. Nate, for me, the first thing I noticed about him is that he stands way too squared up at times.
Mm-hmm.
He's also got little tiny legs. So I think Mateus Mendonça is going to do well with some leg kicks in this fight. Nate Maness is also not the best wrestler, right? So Mendonça, to me, should have a pretty obvious advantage here on the ground. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Truthfully, he hasn't looked super impressive to me. His record is really good, right? He's obviously fought some really good guys too. He lost to Umar. It was by decision though. At least he didn't get finished. Mm-hmm. Lost to Tagir Lembekov. Did get choked out.
The other loss was to Taylor Lapalus, who also now in the UFC, who was a really good fighter.
Yep, and got knocked out in that one. He does have a win over Johnny Munoz, Kelvin Van Camp, Tony Gravely. The wins aren't of the highest quality to me. And Mateus Mendonça didn't look terrible versus Javid Basharat. Javid Basharat is just a level above to me. So, he was undefeated until he fought Javid. He didn't look terrible, like I said. For me, he's just a guy that is going to... Javid Basharat just such a guy that slows down the pace and makes you fight his style and pace of fight. I don't see that being the case here. I do think that Mateus should be the one that's kind of leading the dance here.
Yeah.
I think a sub is a possibility. He does take a lot of chances, so I could see him catching Maness with something, with a knee or something fun like that. But I do think that eventually he will get the finish here.
Yeah. I'll say this: Mateus Mendonça, 24 years old. He's a shoot the box guy. That should tell you everything about like how he fights, right?
Yep.
He is the blue haired guy from shoot the box.
True.
From the Dana White's Contender Series, aka Dancing with the Stars. He's the dude that does this thing. Remember, he tries to make everyone flinch, during interviews. He's like, just
too much.
Fucks with people. But anyways, in the Basharat fight, right? Javid Basharat is 28 years old.
Yep.
Javid Basharat is a very good fighter, and I think the most impressive thing for me with Javid Basharat is the fact that he fights beyond his years. Like, he's
absolutely.
a very smart fighter,
No
right?
question.
Mateus Mendonça lost the fight to a very high-level guy who fights very mature. I don't think that's the case with Nate Maness. I think Nate Maness has only lost to good competition. Like, I know he has, but he's not the best fighter, right?
No.
And I think their ground game is going to nullify each other here. I think this ends up being on the feet. And if this is a stand-up fight, I understand that Mendonça can get hit, and he is very hittable, as all those shoot-the-box guys tend to be. But he's very dynamic as well, man. And he's a lot younger. He's a lot faster. I think he has more power.
He has a lot of first-round finishes.
Yeah, he's dangerous, dude. And at 24 years old, the guy has shown that he could hang with guys like Javid Basharat.
Yep.
I think he finds a finish in this one.
And
Maybe
the Tony
the second
Gravely
round.
I'm sorry?
Maybe in the second round.
Yep. Yeah, I see
TKO, by the way.
I see a finish too, and then for me too with Maness, it's like he was losing that Tony Gravely fight, and I don't think Tony Gravely is like that good of a fighter. I think Mateus would absolutely demolish Tony Gravely personally. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm just too low on Tony Gravely, but in any case, moving on, and man, you are getting all the women's fights
bangers,
today,
bro.
It's at 115. We got Karolina Kowalkiewicz versus Diana Belbita. Give me your thoughts on this one.
All right, Karolina Kowalkiewicz, she is 37 years old. She is a veteran. She's been in the UFC and in MMA for a long damn time. If you're a UFC fan, you know her very well. Of course, she comes with a very high-level kickboxing background.
Do you think it feels weird, like, you're the second, like, Polish fighter?
Lady.
You know what I mean?
Like the second Polish lady.
Yeah.
It's always going to be Joanna and then her.
Yeah. Like, Joanna's gone, but, like, she's still, like, around, you know?
Right.
And, like, do you think people, like, I'm sure they still like her, but, like...
Yeah, I mean, they like her, but they don't like her as much as they like...
Right.
As much as they like Joanna.
Yep.
Shout out Conrad. He's our Polish fan.
There you go.
I'm going to hit up Conrad after this and
Conrad,
ask him what their opinion is.
Let us know what you think.
Yeah, let us know, bro. But yeah, decent power, decent volume. She's on a 3-fight winning streak here. She was on a 4-fight losing streak before this.
Yeah.
It seemed like it was over.
I think it was 5.
Maybe 5. It seemed like it was over for Karolina Kowalkiewicz.
5 fights.
So 5 fights in a row.
Okay, but let's... Okay, ready? Mm-hmm. Jessica Andrade.
Yeah. Michelle
Karate Hottie in 2019.
Yeah.
Alexa Grasso.
Yeah.
Yan Jianan. And then Jessica Penne.
Yeah.
So
Murderers Row plus Jessica Penne.
Literally.
Yeah.
That's literally what I had written down. Is like 4 of the top 5, maybe the top 4 fighters at that time in the division.
Yeah.
And Jessica Penne.
Yeah.
Who's not like awful.
Right.
You know?
So she's looked good, man. Career resurgence. Gotta love Karolina Kowalkiewicz. Diana Belbita. She's 27 years old, so she's 10 years younger in this one. Good pressure, man. She's a striker. Good volume. She does good work in the clinch. She is solid on the ground. She's not lost there.
She's looked better.
She has. She has decent takedowns. She looked awesome last time out versus Maria Oliveira.
I just feel like that told me more about Maria Oliveira than it did about... It was one of those for me.
Potentially, right? And then the line on this fight...
She also has a loss to Meatball Molly.
So, yeah, think about that. The line on this fight right now is a minus 190 for Karolina.
I think that's a perfect parlay piece.
Hear me out, though. To me, it's a slight bit wide. I do think Karolina Kowalkiewicz is going to win this fight.
It is a little wide. It is a little
wide.
wide.
I think it's a little crazy for a 10-year age gap.
Mm-hmm.
And
at women's, too.
At women's MMA, I think
it's not like Belbita is like some, like, she's just coming up. Like, it's her first UFC fight.
She's been here for a little bit. Anyways, we could talk about the age. Here's the thing with the age, though. At any moment, you can fall off a cliff. We've talked about that before, right?
Yeah, I just feel like it would be weird with the momentum that she's looked better than she has in her entire career. The last 3 fights, she has looked like shockingly good, hitting with power, going for finishes. Like, looks like she really wants it. I don't know what the hell happened, but like
she went to American Top Team.
There you go.
So it was like a gym change.
The gym change like really rejuvenated her. Like it was a complete 180 for her. So yeah. I mean, I'm on the bus. I like her. I like her to win this. I don't think she's going to get a finish. Yeah. And I do think, like you said, the odds are a little wide. But yeah,
same thing. The decision. I'm low confidence on it.
Yeah.
But the low confidence comes in because skill wise, she's significantly better.
Yeah.
She is significantly better.
She also throws harder, man. She just
everything. I think she's just way better at everything.
Yeah.
But she's 37.
She's 37
versus a 27-year-old. So that's where my pause comes in on this. But yeah, I'm taking Karolina Kowalkiewicz by decision.
Agree. Same. For sure.
Now here's your banger that you get.
Moving on to the sixth fight of the night. It is Philipe Lins versus Ion Cutelaba. And man, this is a banger, isn't it? I don't see this fight going the distance.
No.
Did I dream it, or was this fight like supposed to be made on another card? Or I feel like I literally saw these two guys, or did I just in my mind like assume these guys would fight each other? I don't know what the hell's going on.
Do you really care?
No, I don't really care. Yeah. Maybe my wires are just crossed. Anyway, I am gonna go out on a limb. What are the odds on this one?
Let's find out. The odds on this one are Philipe Lins is a plus 125, minus 150 for Ion Cutelaba.
Who would have thought, though, 9-year age difference. Philipe Lins is 38 years old now. So he's looked pretty decent since he's come down to light heavyweight. I mean, he's done it the right way. He looks in great shape. But, yeah, I mean, Ion Cutelaba, we know what we get with him, man. He's an absolute wild man. Like, this guy is, like, he might not be all there, you know? Like, he's nuts. He's like a rabid beast. He's literally like a pit bull. So he wants to finish you. He's going to go in there, and he's going to throw bombs. And I think he gets it. I think he finds a bomb. I think he gets the TKO finish over Philipe Lins. And this one, I thought the Tanner Bolster, I think is an underrated fighter personally. Mm-hmm. Interestingly enough, another guy that was a heavyweight who came down to light heavyweight. Not all that different. Philipe Lins, I do think, is a little bit more athletic than Tanner Bolster overall.
He hits harder, too.
He hits harder, you know, but yeah, I think Ion Cutelaba has more power. I just think he's more athletic overall. Yeah, I also think he's probably physically stronger. So for me, it's pretty possible that he gets the KO here. If you look at his losses, man, I mean, I know like he's had a decent amount of losses, but if you look at the people that he's lost to...
You're talking about Cutelaba?
Cutelaba, yeah. I mean, it's Kennedy and Nzechukwu. That is obviously aged pretty well. Johnny Walker, who's... Still top of the division. Ryan Spann, you know, he hasn't been too hot lately, but... Shit, I mean, these are all really... Ankalaev. So really, really good fighters. Like literal top of the division. Has wins over Tanner Bolster, Devin Clark, Khalil Roundtree. I mean, he's got some wins. It's not like he's a nobody, right? It's just... If you're somebody that can kind of manhandle Ion Cutelaba and you're bigger in stature than him, he has a tough time with it. And I just don't see Philipe Lins bossing him around, and I do think he ends up getting the knockout in this one.
Yeah, I'm going the same thing. Cutelaba by knockout. My thing is I'm just not confident in Ion Cutelaba ever.
You can't be. How can you be?
Right, because he has no chin.
He has no chin.
It seems like, you know...
And Philipe Lins does have a pretty good chin. So it's
pretty good chin, some decent power. The thing with Ion Cutelaba is I feel like he's going to knock you out or he's going to get knocked out.
He will.
So there is a good chance that a guy coming from heavyweight can clip him and knock him out.
100%.
We were saying the same thing during the Tanner Boser fight. Yeah, I don't know. He can get sparked out, but I think he's going to win. I'm not betting it because I'm never comfortable with Ion Cutelaba.
I mean, his last 5 fights have all been finishes, one way or another.
Yeah.
So, and 9 of his last 10.
Yeah.
So
ridiculous.
You know, and
Killer
literally
be killed.
2 of those have made it to the second round. So yeah, I mean, you pretty much don't go get your chips and drink at this point, right? No. Definitely sit down for this one. Moving on to the next fight of the night, it is my guy Bill Algeo. Love me some Bill Algeo versus Alexander Hernandez. This one is at 145. I kind of prefer Alex Hernandez when he's a little bit thicker.
Yeah.
I don't think he can impose his will as much at 145. But what do you think about this fight?
All right, so Bill Algeo, yo boy, he's fast, man. He's a good striker, karate dude, good in and out movement. He likes to get brawly, which you wouldn't think, you know, a guy with that kind of stance or background would want. On the ground, he's okay too, man. I think he's underrated on the ground. He has more
he's
than
for sure underrated on the ground.
He has more than you would expect from a karate guy.
100%.
Like a lot more than you expect from a karate guy. He is a black belt in jiu-jitsu. What'd you say?
That's a blick.
He's a black belt in BJJ. He's coming off a win versus downtown TJ Brown. He showed off his submission skills in that one. Very good fighter, Bill Algeo. Then we have Alex Hernandez. We've mentioned him 1,000 times before. I remember you going into a whole ass tirade last time we talked about him, about how if he loses, you'll never pick him again, right?
Yep.
He ended up winning. He beat Jim A10 Miller. If you've been watching MMA...
Dude, Jim Miller is... That's a pretty good win.
Yeah, I mean, it's Jim Miller.
I mean, even now though, I know
But I want to say this, Dino. If you guys, and I think at this point, if you're still watching, you like MMA. You've been watching for a while. Alex Hernandez, you've either made a shit ton of money on him,
yes,
or you've lost a shit ton of money on him, or a combination of both. Like you smacked hard one time, then he screwed you over 3 times.
Probably that.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. He is the most inconsistent fighter on the roster to me.
He's like young Cutelaba.
Right. But I think he's better, right?
No, he is.
Like, I don't think Ivan Cutelaba could beat the top guys.
No.
I think Alex Hernandez can. He has a win versus Beneil a long time ago. It wasn't Beneil like top 5. But I think Hernandez has the possibility. Like, he has that chance. He has everything. But the dude is so goddamn inconsistent. He looks unreal, and then he looks...
knocked out Beneil bad in the first round.
Bad. And then sometimes he looks like dog shit.
Yep.
Like, straight up dog shit.
I think with him, too, it's the cut. Like that's why I don't like him at 145. I feel like he's prone to having a bad cut.
I get that. Dude, he's well-rounded. The thing that shocked me, he's still only 31.
Yeah.
He's still got time. I don't know what to make of this. I'm 100% not betting on an Alex Hernandez fight ever again. So I'm staying away from it. I'm going to avoid Alex here. I'm taking your boy Bill Algeo. I just trust him. I think at 145, Alex doesn't, probably it's not too good of an idea to go down there. I'm taking Bill Algeo by sub. But Alex Hernandez likes to ruin this kind of shit.
Yep.
So chances are he might.
I'm pretty confident in it, man. I don't think Alex Hernandez, like I said, at 145, I like Bill Algeo's chances here. He's super underrated. He's very well-rounded. He's definitely got the better cardio. If it goes the distance, I don't see Alex Hernandez getting this win. Now, I know we've seen him...
You want to throw this? Because I did it last time. You said you wanted to throw something.
Oh, just throw it?
Remember,
That felt pretty good.
You liked it?
Yeah.
All
right. I mean... We've seen Alex Hernandez pull out wins, too, out of his ass, even at decision,
Mm-hmm. There's way worse things you could pull out of your ass. Like, significantly worse
100%.
things.
And put into your ass.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know. I guess I just see Hernandez gassing out. Algeo, my only concern is that he is pretty hittable at times. He does leave his chin up in the air. He does get a little brawly for somebody, like you said, with this kind of style. So...
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think Bill Algeo is an underrated fighter. This is kind of a name. I want Bill Algeo to be a bigger thing. I want him because he cuts a great promo, right? Where were they in Kansas City last time?
How old is Bill Algeo?
He's like around the same, I want to say. He is.
Yeah, I remember him having
33?
a fun-ass promo.
34?
34, okay.
Yeah, I wish he was bigger. But in any case, yeah, I'm going to go Bill Algeo. I'll go by sub, too.
Let's get it.
Moving on to the next fight of the night. Is it your boy, Drew Dober?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Slight your boy.
Yeah.
Drew Dober versus Ricky Glenn. It's a weird kind of matchmaking to me, I feel like. Mm-hmm. But what do you think about this one?
Drew Dober, man, he's the biggest favorite on the card at minus 470, I believe.
Jeez, okay.
Always a fun guy to watch, man. We put up the picture. Fun. I put up a picture on Instagram. You also go check that out at D107MMA. But Drew Dober, I wrote on that little caption, it's like always an exciting fight.
Always.
I have written down here that he's like a diet Michael Chandler.
Sure.
He's not as good as Michael Chandler, but his fights are always fun as shit. Like, he is live as hell for a knockout at any moment. His chin is absolute granite, and everyone's been talking about that. And then last time he gets knocked out. The first time in his career.
Yeah, but Matt Frevola has got some power, man.
I picked Matt Frevola by knockout.
I know you
did.
I know you did.
Shout out me.
I remember that.
On that one. Man, he's super duper exciting here. He's facing Ricky Glenn, who's like 6 feet tall. He's a tall, long-bodied volume kind of guy, right? I don't think he has one-shot power, so I don't think necessarily we're going to see Drew Dober's chin tested again like that.
Yeah.
He doesn't do too well, Ricky Glenn, when he's not able to keep the fight at distance, right? So when someone makes it a brawl in the phone booth, that's when he is at his worst.
Yeah. Or in the wrestling.
This guy is a bat out of hell, Drew Dober.
Yep.
Like, he's coming forward at all times, and when it comes to the wrestling, he's got good wrestling too, Drew Dober.
Absolutely.
I think this fight is tailor-made for Drew Dober. The only way I can see him losing is if, for whatever reason, that chin has actually cracked and it is deteriorating.
Yep, and he got caught with a counterpunch.
Right, because he got knocked out not too long ago.
6 months ago.
But yes, I am confident in Drew Dober by knockout. I think you have to go Drew Dober KO round 1.
Yeah, I agree fully. KO round 1. I believe that Drew Dober is probably the best brawler in the weight class.
Okay.
He just can't get caught, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, Ricky Glenn isn't, like you said, he doesn't have a ton of, like, one-punch power, but if he gets stumbled and then, you know, caught a little bit, like you said, hopefully that chin hasn't cracked. Drew Dober is how old? He is...
34.
34.
Almost 35 next month.
So, shit, I mean, I thought Ricky Glenn was older, honestly, but Ricky Glenn looked hella slow in his last fight. He looked terrible in his last fight. So
he did.
Drew Dober didn't look terrible. He just got knocked out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think, like you said, this is pretty much tailored.
That's a really good guy, by the way. Shout out Matt Frivola.
Matt Frivola, he's great.
The Steamroller is a really good fighter. Underrated.
And a great nickname.
Yeah.
Moving on to the 9th fight of the night. It is Alex Morono versus our boy, Joaquin Buckley.
Which we also dropped a picture of. We have a really cool video.
We have that video with him and Ode.
Yeah, that was bad.
That was awesome.
Shout out Buckley.
What do you think about this one?
I think it'll be a fun fight. Alex Morono is very well rounded, man. He's not the most entertaining fighter.
God, he's really not.
Right, but
I'm just not a fan.
I'm not a fan either, and I'll just put that out there. Disclaimer. But the guy can fight.
Sure.
Very good striking, very good grappling. He is a winner. He finds ways to win fights. He doesn't give up on himself. He beat Tim Means last time out. We talked about it 2 weeks ago when Tim Means was fighting.
That was hell of a guillotine.
Right, comeback, guillotine. Alex Morono, man, he's looked really good these last few years. He's won most of his fights. He's looked pretty damn good in all of them.
Right. Against who, really, though?
For what it's... I mean, let's take a look at it, right?
Semi the Jedi.
Decent fight, right?
Decent fight, but, like, I don't know. Semi's kind of fallen off, unfortunately. I'm a fan, but...
So he
fought an aging Cerrone.
Yeah.
I mean...
David Zawada, who's no longer in the UFC. Mickey Gall is no longer there.
So,
yeah. I mean, whatever.
You know,
He's looked pretty good, right?
He's always floating around.
Agreed. And then he's fighting Joaquin Buckley, straight up our boy. Powerful as hell, Joaquin Buckley. You know what he's about. He comes out fast. He used to do a shit ton of like headhunting.
Yeah.
He used to just come out there looking for like the one shot, kill shot. He's settled down with that. And his move to 170, I think it's the right move.
I think so.
I think this is the right weight class for him. He's settled down. He's fighting smarter now. He's becoming a vet. Yeah. He's becoming like a professional veteran fighter. I think the recipe for Morono, if he wants to win this fight, is to take Joaquin Buckley down and hold him there.
Definitely.
And just kind of
I just don't think he has the power to do that.
I agree, because I think, can he do that? Probably not, because Buckley has good takedown defense.
Right.
And Buckley's way more athletic. I can see Morono taking him down and Buckley just bucking, for lack of a better term, and getting up and then keeping this fight on the feet. So I think this takes place on the feet.
Yeah.
I got to take the guy that has the kill shot power.
Absolutely.
Buckley has the nuclear option. Morono doesn't.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I fully agree with you. I think he's going to get a knockout. I don't see Buckley certainly not going to shoot on Alex Morono. So that guillotine is out of the question. He's got really good takedown defense. Tim Means was kind of putting it on Alex Morono at one point, and he does tend to get caught, man. He gets caught with some shots, and,
Ponzinibbio clipped him bad.
Ponzinibbio knocked his ass out. And then Buckley, you don't want to get caught by him. And Buckley is so much more athletic than an old-ass Tim Means. Tim Means is really good still. I'm not taking anything away from him. But Tim Means is lead-footed, bro. He barely moves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Buckley's so much more athletic. He's going to bounce around. He's going to move in awkward ways, go in and out. The shit that he does, like switch stances. I just, I think he's going to make it a hard fight for Alex Morono to win. Like you said, he is a winner, Alex Morono.
Yeah.
I'm not giving him no chance. But I'm pretty confident that Joaquin Buckley, even by decision, could win it. But I'm going to go with a TKO finish in round 2 here.
Do you think Joaquin Buckley here can... Do you think if he wins this fight, does he get a ranked fighter? Or does he get somebody just outside the rankings?
I think somebody just outside the rankings.
Just outside. Yeah. So soon to be...
Soon to be.
Yeah, like one away, let's say.
Yeah.
And then also, I'll just throw this in there. What do they drink?
Oh, my God. Alex Morono probably just drinks, like... Miller High Life, dude.
You think so? Just
the
champagne and beers? That's what he's about?
Just, yeah.
Yeah.
Just shout out Mark Shewy for that.
Shout out Mark. What about Buckley? Joaquin Buckley. We should have asked him.
We should have asked him.
I don't think Buckley drinks.
I don't think he drinks either.
I think he's like...
He seemed sober as hell last time.
He was sober as hell, like when we saw him. But what do you think he does drink? Like, let's say, he's not in camp. It's a fun night out. We got to have one.
Maybe like a vodka Sprite.
Just like a casual vodka Sprite. Yeah.
You know, or probably like a Jack and Coke.
Okay, so something like kind of
like somebody who doesn't drink. That's something what they would get.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I get that. I like that. Okay.
But
like you know he doesn't drink when he's ordering it. That kind of vibe.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think he's ordering like Long Islands.
No. Yeah.
You know, when's the last time you had a Long Island?
Brother, in 2014.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Maybe at ISU. There was that bar at ISU.
Oh shit.
They used to have like the $7 Long Islands that came in like a fishbowl.
Oh my god! I remember that.
Yeah, you would get destroyed off those.
Yep.
Shout out that place.
Whatever that place.
I think it was Mulligan's maybe. Drew, hit us up. Let us know. Drew used to go there all the time.
And I'm sure Mark and Alex did too.
They did.
Yeah. I mean, what else more is there more to say about that?
Yeah, that.
Anyway.
Exactly that.
Moving on to the co-main event of the night. It's Joe Pyfer.
Body Biggs.
Joe Body Biggs taking on Abdul Razak Alhassan.
Yeah, that's him.
At 185, man, this is a brutal fight, honestly. These guys are both two tanks, right? I mean, just
sluggers.
Just sluggers, right? I mean, Joe Body Bags is 6 foot, 2, 3? 6'2". Abdul Razak is a little bit thicker than him. He's 5'10". These guys are both absolutely jacked. 2-inch reach advantage for Joe Body Bags. And typically 2 inches isn't a big difference, right? But this
it's a lot of inches, really, if you like all things considered.
Big enough. But this is two guys with huge knockout power. I mean, if you're going to bet anything in this one, bet it not going the distance. I mean, I don't see a way where this is going the distance. For me, the 2-inch reach advantage for Joe Pyfer, I think, is going to be a decent size advantage for him. I know that Abdul Razak Alhassan, well, he's obviously got massive power himself. We don't even need to touch on that too much. I know he's got the judo, but I don't think the judo that we don't see him use it that much, first of all.
Very rarely.
Very rarely. Joe Pyfer is out here actively doing like grappling tournaments at, what is it, Fury or one of those? Yeah, Fury. He just beat GM3.
CFFC or Fury, yeah.
Yeah, he just beat GM3 and who else was it? Eric Anders. Like two pretty damn good grapplers. He just beat the shit out of them in that. So
after beating the shit out of GM3 in real life.
Literally, that guy just did not get enough.
Right.
So, yeah, for me, if it goes to the ground, Joe Pyfer, I think, does have a distinct advantage, even though I know Alhassan has been doing judo for a really long time. I just don't think it quite translates the same way. Power-wise, I mean, the power's a wash. Either one of these guys get caught by the other one, it's over.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go with Joe Pyfer, 2-inch reach advantage, and really somebody that we need to look out for at the middleweight division. Part of me really just hopes that he wins because he is, 8-9 years younger?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's 27.
Yeah, 9 years younger. So, I think it's better for the sport. It's better for the division, obviously. And shit, man, with a good grappler like that, with legit power, there are not a ton of middleweights that match up really good with him. Mm-hmm. So, what do you think?
One thing I want to point out, you mentioned the safe bet here does not go the distance.
Right.
Which obviously, both of these guys can find a knockout at any moment. They're both very powerful dudes. Weirdly enough, every loss that first of all, Abdul Razak Alhassan, I think, has only been finished one time.
Right.
That was the
38 though, man.
That was the Chaos Williams knockout, right?
Yep.
He was out for like 15 minutes, if you remember, off of like a straight.
Bad. Dude,
it made no sense.
Made no sense.
But usually when he loses a decision.
Yep.
When he wins, it's always a finish. Same thing with Joe Pyfer.
I think he starts to gas too. He's so jacked. He's gonna gas.
Like short and jacked, so like very thick.
Right. You're pure muscle, dude. So you're gonna gas.
Yeah. Joe Pyfer also never been knocked out. He has a TKO loss on his record. It was an injury. It was when he messed up his arm on Dancing with the Stars the first time. Yep. He has a submission loss. Yeah, man. Obviously, very dangerous for both guys. Either way, somebody's probably getting sparked out. I think I have to trust the young gun here in Joe Pyfer. He is younger. He's longer. He's taller. He's faster, I think, at this point than Abdul Razak Alhassan.
Definitely faster.
And I think the UFC knows what they're doing, Dino. I think they're building Joe Pyfer up to be a star of sorts. I don't think Joe Pyfer's ever going to be like a superstar in this sport. But they had him on Dana White's Contender Series, which I keep wanting to call Dancing with the Stars.
He's so young, though, man.
And
Why can't he be a star?
Remember the whole be Joe Pyfer. You got to be Joe Pyfer. That shit, I think they're pushing him. And I think they know this is a fight he could win. They put him in a co-main event spot against the guy that's really old. Dangerous, but old. I'm going Joe Body Bags by knockout. I think it's better for the organization. I think they're doing it for that reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I hope he wins. And moving on to the main event of the evening, it is Grant Dawson, 21-1 at lightweight, taking on Bobby Green.
King Bob Green.
King Bob Green with his weird ass eyebrows. What do you think about this one?
All right, so the main event. This would be an absolutely fire, second prelim on a pay-per-view card.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It would be like the second to last prelim.
Yep.
That's the problem here with this. But anyways, this is not a main event.
Card. It's a weird main event.
This is not a main event.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. This is just not a main event. But whatever. Good for these guys for getting that. Grant Dawson. He is a very, very good grappler. He is nonstop with the wrestling. Very impressive.
Super strong at the top control. He gets you in the top control.
That's it, right?
Yeah.
Outside of diehard MMA fans, and if you're watching this till this point, I know you're a diehard MMA fan
commend you.
or a good friend of ours.
Right.
But diehard MMA fans are the only people that know who the hell Grant Dawson is and what he's about. The dude is really good when it comes to the grappling. He's a good fighter in general. Is he ever going to be a star? No. I don't think so.
Yep.
His style doesn't lend itself to that. Is he ever going to be a champion? No, I don't see it. But anyways, he is really damn good. He's taking on King Bobby Green. Even though he is the blue corner, he is the A side. He is the name value on this main event. Again, if you're watching this, you know everything there is to know about Bobby Green, right? Because you're an MMA fan. Bobby Green, he's quick. He's slick. He's been there. He's done that. He has decent power. It's not one-shot power. His KO, TKOs have come from volume. But you know Bobby Green. He's been around. He's done and seen everything. I know.
At its core, it's still a wrestler versus
striker versus grappler, right? Essentially, Bobby Green used to do a lot of wrestling.
He's not a bad wrestler.
He used to do a lot of it. He doesn't do it much anymore. Whatever though. Shout out Bobby Green. He's literally a legend to me in the MMA
100%,
game.
no question.
Here's the thing. The way I'm thinking about this is we saw Islam Makhachev absolutely dominate Bobby Green.
Yep.
Grant Dawson is not Islam Makhachev.
No.
But he is a very damn good wrestler.
Yes.
So that recipe, it's there.
It's there, and literally in top control, he might be second to Islam as far as how dominant he can be from top control.
There we go. So the way I see this is Grant Dawson takes Bobby Green down early. He takes him down often. And
he's a guy that's not afraid to shoot constantly, by the way, too.
He's going to shoot the whole time. He's going to keep shooting. Bobby Green doesn't have that one-shot kill shot to where Grant Dawson has to be shook about shooting in on him. He's going to comfortably shoot in on Bobby Green. If he doesn't get it, he's going to go for it again. So I think he's going to take him down early. I think he's going to take him down often. I think there's two ways this fight goes. Either Grant Dawson rides his way to a super boring-ass 50-45 decision.
I think that's
a 50-44 kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or he rides it out in a boring-ass fight until he finds a sub on the ground.
Yep.
I don't see Bobby Green winning this fight.
You don't think there's a chance he catches him? Or
I mean, we just recorded a video about Charles Oliveira. You guys should watch that. And I'll link it for you guys. There's always a chance.
Right. No,
I just don't see it, man.
Realistically, because he is better on the feet. I will say Grant Dawson, he has looked improved since he's made the switch to ATT. Mm-hmm. His striking has improved. He's never going to be a natural fluid striker. Bobby Green's better on the feet.
Yeah.
He's also damn near 38 years old at this point.
And maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm tripping for doubting such a veteran.
I think the odds are crazy. Minus 395 for Grant Dawson.
I think that's good.
I don't know, man.
Yeah,
that's pretty
I get where you're coming
to
from,
me.
but I like it.
And also 92% or something like that on Tapology. 92% picking Dawson. I don't think it's that wide, man. I really don't. I truly don't. Yeah. I could see Bobby Green winning this by piecing him up on the feet. I just think that Bobby Green is gone. I don't think that, he's getting older, man.
If Bobby Green wins this fight, you realize Grant Dawson's ranked. That means we have Bobby Green at 14-13
that would be
in the 155 rankings at the end of 2023.
Yeah.
He's going to get massacred by the next guy he fights.
Yeah, he will.
So, yeah.
He still shouldn't fight up at that point.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, for what it's worth, I also am going to go with Grant Dawson. I do think he finds the sub, and I think it's going to be boring as shit, but I think he finds a sub in second, third round.
What's better for the sport? Grant Dawson winning or Bobby Green winning?
Well, definitely Grant Dawson winning.
Just for the progression of the division?
The progression, yeah. He's got a really good record, so he's already ranked. He's 21-1, I think, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, He's boring as shit, though, so that's the thing. Like, his style, like Bobby Green's style.
8-0.
I don't know. It might be better for Bobby Green to win for the sport. But
8-0 in the UFC, though.
8-0 in the UFC.
That's crazy.
The
win
crazy.
last time versus Demir's Magulov.
And he's got some... Bro, that's a good win. That's a good win.
He took Marco Madsen's O. You know what I'm saying? He beat Jared Gordon, who just beat the shit out of Patty, but got robbed.
I mean, he's fought some dangerous guys. You know, Mike Trizano, whatever.
Derek
Julian
Minner.
Rosa, decent win. You know what? He's, like, weirdly, like not really moved up with, like... I mean, his Magulov was a move up, but, like, I don't know. Some of the guys that he's fought is, like... Sure, Mark Madsen, he was undefeated, but I don't know.
Yeah, but he's...
I don't think that highly of him. Jared Gordon, I don't think that highly of, but... Yeah, it's a good fight for him because it's very, very winnable, and it is a name.
You know what the best part of this main event is that it starts... The main card starts at 6 Central.
Oh, nice.
So, like, it'll be done by 10, which means, like, we can go and, like, live our lives.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is really nice. I really enjoy that.
Hopefully with a couple extra $2-3 in the pocket.
Couple $2-3 in the pocket, couple brews in, you know what I'm saying? I want to throw this in, though. This main event and next week's main event, which is Sadiq Youssef versus Edson Barboza.
Weird.
These are not main events.
Weird. They're doing weird shit with that.
These are not main events. Look, Dino.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, ESPN price going up, so big fuck you to your fans with the shit-ass cards that we've been getting and the bogus-ass main events that you're trying to pass off as main events. So
there it is.
Big fuck you to us. But
I want to say this, though. I'll always watch every UFC event, right?
Of course.
And it's Bobby Green. Like, next week it's Edson Barboza. Like, I'm not missing those guys' fights ever, right?
And there are some good fights on this card.
I think there's some really good fights on this card. There's some solid ones next week as well. But these are not main events, man. No. The UFC really needs to do something about this shit. They need to stop, like, super-duper stacking portions of their year. Because sometimes they'll go, like, 7 weeks in a row of, like, fucking bangers.
Yeah.
And it's like, yo, chill out. Like, literally 2 weeks ago, Bryce Mitchell... Who did Bryce Mitchell just fight? Why am I tripping? It was a good fight.
What's his name? Dan Ige.
Bryce Mitchell, Dan Ige could have been a main event.
100%.
Could have been a fight night main event. Like, do shit like that. Like, if you're getting to these, like, weird-ass areas where everything's bunched up, be smart about it. These are not fucking main events. But anyways, as a diehard of the sport, I'm going to watch it regardless. It's just, it's not a main event. This is not a main event. None of these guys are champion. None of these guys are going to be champion. Yeah. None of them will fight for titles, I don't think.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So, yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. Anything else, Dino?
No, I think we covered it all. Yeah. Good to be back.
Great to be back. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, you could do us a little favor. Hit the little like button. Hit the little subscribe button. You can also follow us on Instagram at, what is it?
The 107 MMA.
The same way as it's spelled right here on this damn channel. Guys, we are Dino and Dino. He's Dino. I'm also Dino. This glove right here, that's our logo. It says Dino.
It does.
TJ Dillashaw looks like a Dino now. All right? So thank you guys so much for watching. Dino, this Dino. Peace.